Hi everybody, it's Lene. Thanks so much for stopping by my channel today. Today I have got a fantastic new paper pack from Paper Wishes hot off the press. It's called Christmas Past, and we're going to use it to make a hardcover Christmas journal. And then of course at the end of the video you'll learn how you can participate in the giveaway, because I always love to give away the finished project to one of my subscriber friends. So stay tuned for details about that. So first let's take a little flip through. As you can see, it's got these great vintage Santas. These are cutouts. It's also got little cutout greetings and things like that. Birds are awesome. And then on the back, it's got some really beautiful sort of patterned paper with this gold fleck on it. Really, really pretty. All right, then it's got these adorable little stuffed animals. They're also vintage, kind of a little steampunk flair on some of them, and some of them are more traditional, which I love. And what's great about this collection is yes, we can make our journal with it, but you can pick your kind of style for the Christmas that you want. And it's got this beautiful kind of a brown tile with some burgundy on it. Then we get into the, I think these are much more traditional images, which are gorgeous. Tag shapes, still very vintage. Beautiful red on the back. And then look at this beautiful ivory paper. Absolutely gorgeous. And then look at this gorgeous sort of tapestry. And then gorgeous with the green, the deer, the poinsettia, lots of holly. Make sure you get all that in. And on the back, kind of a green tapestry. And then on this one, more vintage in the kind of ivory with all the beautiful holly and tapestry. Gorgeous. And then we're starting over, you get one more of each of them. This is just a gorgeous paper on the back. It's got like pine boughs with berries and pine cones and little like orange slices. So cute. All right, so this is going to be hardcover. And I did a hardcover book in November for, it was like a gratitude journal. And you guys really liked that one. And I got a lot of requests for Christmas. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to take that same lightweight, kind of printer paper weight craft paper. I got this on Amazon, and you can find it in my Amazon store, link down below the video. You can find this paper pack from Paper Wishes hot off the press also down below the video. There's a link for that so you can find it. We're going to keep it really simple today. We're going to be taking these pages of the craft paper, and I chose the craft once again because I think it just really lends itself very well with the vintage looking things. But one of the things we're going to do different today is we're going to put sort of, what would I call them? Dividers within the journal of patterned paper. So we'll do the no-sew binding again, and we'll do several pages like this and then do a pattern paper in between and then several more. And I didn't want to have the pattern paper folded in half like this, because then you just get two sheets of pattern paper. They're the same on facing pages. How do you do just a single sheet of pattern paper between all of these? And I'm going to show you how to do that. So I'm just going to keep folding these 8.5 by 11 pieces of paper in half. Okay, and I'm gonna write this down. You guys like it when I write it down? I can absolutely do that. I have to find a pen. Okay, so we're taking 8.5 by 11, and then we're folding it in half, and it's now going to be 8.5 inches tall by 5.5 inches. Okay, so that's what I'm just going to be doing till I get this whole stack done. Now, how many pages are we doing? That just depends on how thick you want to make your journal. I have to mail this out to one of my lucky subscriber friends for the giveaway. So I'm trying not to make this too heavy. So this will probably have 15 folded sheets in there. That'll give us 30 sheets. And then I'll add in a few extra pattern sheets. So we'll start with that and see how it looks. Okay, so mine are all folded, and there are 15 folded pages here. So I was wrong. I need to do my math better. So each one of these has got 1, 2, 3, 4 pages. So four pages times 15. That's 60 pages here. It doesn't look like 16, but 60. All right, so one of the things to remember when you're folding these, take the time to use your bone folder or your butter knife or whatever it is that you're using and go across those folds. We want those to be compressed as much as we can for our binding, okay? And then for these little inserts, okay, I'm using this plaid paper, okay? And this is from Joyful Christmas 12 by 12 patterned cardstock from Paper Wishes hot off the press. And I've just got little bits and pieces of it left here, so I don't have anything to show you, but I will put it down below in the description box, and it's in the Paper Wishes items along with the beautiful paper that we're using for the cover. So what I want to do with these is, let me tell you how I cut them. So this is still 8.5 inches tall, okay? And we want them to be the same width as one of these pages with a little bit extra. So these are actually 5 3/4 of an inch wide because I scored these right here to fold down 1/4 of an inch. And here's why. If you were to take this with the binding that we're doing and you use this one single edge that's not folded, and you glued it in between all of these, the binding method that we're using, it helps if it has the fold. So we're just going to create a fold out of this. We're cheating, and we're just going to pinch that right in there between these, and we're going to put 5 pages. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. And then here's your measurements, okay? So these are the pages from the craft paper, and then the pattern dividers are 8.5 by, sorry about this weird writing, 5 3/4 of an inch, okay? And then score at 5 inches. Where's my pen? Where did it go? Here it is. Okay, you want to score at the 5.5 inch mark, okay? So you've got this little fold going down on one side. So as I said, we're going to take these, and here's our folded side, and we're taking this folded side, and we're going to put it just like this. And then we're going to take 5 more of these and put it there. Okay, and we're going to put, let's do this tan one I have. Oops, grabbed the wrong one. This one right here. That's going to go in there too. And then got 5 more like that. And I was going to do like end pages. I think we'll go ahead and we'll do end pages. We're going to put that one right there. And then I've got one more that is the brown. And I'm going to show you how I scored it. So now, this one has that nice little border on the outside edge of it. And this one has a nice little snowflake border, all right? So I don't want to score on this side. I want this to be on the outside of my book page. So I'm going to score the boring side. Sorry, I'm going to get this down lower for you. So this is 5 3/4 of an inch. I'm scoring it at the 5.5 inch. Just like that. You're just giving yourself a little fold. Just like that. Okay, don't need this anymore. All right. So then we're going to go back and we're going to put this one at the end. All right, so we have one here when we're going to open our little journal, and then we're going to have these pages, and then we're going to have another one. They're just kind of evenly spaced throughout the journal. Let's talk about the binding. Okay, what we need to do is make sure all of these little folds, see, I've played with them and they got messed up. All of these little folded pieces, there, like this, they're all facing down. I could have folded them over like at 1/2 inch so they were bigger, but I didn't want them to show from the inside of the journal. Okay, now I've got these little clips. I got these at the dollar store, the Dollar Tree to be specific. And I'm just going to take these and I'm going to clamp them. I just want to be down a little bit lower. There we go. This one right here is causing me trouble. There. And then you just want to make sure that these ends are like this. Maybe we'll just do it like that. It's a little bit different than we did last time. All right, and we're gonna hold this together just like this. We may move these when we get going here. All right, so the next thing that we're going to do, I'm gonna put these down here too, is we are going to put glue on this side. All of these little folded ends are gonna get covered in glue. And then I have this piece of muslin fabric. It's white muslin, very, very inexpensive. And you could use whatever color that you want to use, okay? You could use a bit of a handkerchief, you could use some Christmas fabric, you could use whatever you have as long as it's cotton. And the reason why we don't want to use a polyester fabric, because our glue, we want our glue to absorb into that. Okay, so I'm using Cosmic Shimmer Specialist Acrylic Glue. It is a paper glue. I like it because I know it works for this particular craft, but I've also used tacky glue as well that you can get at the Dollar Tree. Okay, so what we're going to do is, I should give you the measurements for the fabric. So I want to make this, so this is 8.5 inches long. I want to make this just a little bit shorter because I don't want this fabric sticking out the ends of my book at the top and the bottom. So this is cut to 8 inches instead of 8.5. And then this is probably a little longer than I need, a little wider. Let's see. Yep, I cut it to 5 inches. Let's cut that down to 4. And this is not a precise science here. You just want to get enough on there that it's covering everything you need to cover. So I'm going to write this down. Okay, so fabric binding. Cotton. And it's 8 inches by, did I just say 4? 4 inches. Okay. So now we're going to take our glue, and this is the part I think that kind of freaks people out the most. We're putting this glue on all those folded ends of the pages. There we go. You want them well coated. We're just going to take our finger and just get a little bit on all of those ends. Like that. Okay. Get those sides too. And then we're just taking this piece of fabric and we're just kind of dragging it across the center. And I'm just going to wipe my finger off on this fabric because we're just going to lay it down like this. And this is the most important part, is that this fabric is sticking to the glue on those folded edges of these pages. Okay, I'm going to take this one off. I'm going to put it right here. There we go. And we're just going to let that dry. I've got the fabric that came, little pieces of fabric. We're going to let that dry for about an hour, okay, until this part of the fabric is kind of crusty, kind of feels hard, okay? All right, so while that is drying, let's talk about the cover. I like to use chipboard cover, cardboard, that's usually from the back of notepads that are from like legal pads that you might have around your house, or just any kind of a large notepad. And that's why I got this one, and that's why none of the notepads in my house have cardboard in the back, because the minute I get them, I rip the cardboard off and I throw it in my stash. But not everybody has this chipboard cardboard laying around the house. But in this case, you could get 2 covers from this one piece. So measuring, it's 12 inches long by 9 inches wide. Ooh, it'd be a little, yeah, you could get two from this, but we're not going to use this. We're going to use some scrap cardboard from your recycling bin. Okay, so this one provides us with plenty of opportunities here when we cut this up. It's a nice weight. All right, it's all going to get covered with paper anyway, so why not recycle it? So if I just use the end pieces here, that's 6 inches wide, okay? Our cardboard needs to be just slightly larger. So our paper here is 5.5 inches wide. We want our cardboard to be 1/4 inch larger than that, all right? And I have this all written down for you. I'll get to it in a moment. So would this fit? Absolutely. All right. So I'm going to cut the end pieces off of these because I could use these for another project. And then I'm going to get these cut down and I'll show you all the measurements. In case you're wondering how I cut them down, I just take a pair of old scissors that I don't care much about, not your good sharp ones. And I'm just cutting it like this. All right, and then I'm going to trim the rest of it. I'm going to use 2 of these, both the end pieces, and then I'll use it on my paper cutter. Okay, got 2 cover pieces now. This piece right here had this sort of extra layer of cardboard on it from the packaging, and I just peeled that one off because otherwise it would have looked a little funky on the inside of the journal. All right, so we've got those done. So I measured these to 5 3/4 inches to 8 3/4 inches. Don't worry, I have written that down for you. Just a moment, we're going to cut down something else. And then, you guys, what I wanted to use on the cover is this cute little kitten. I thought she was so cute. Don't worry, we're going to use more of these and like the Santa within the journal, but I thought I have plans for this little girl on the front of my journal. All right, so I have chosen this beautiful green tapestry to be the front and back cover paper. And don't worry, I'm going to give you the measurements for this. But this is this really nice size of 6.5 inches by 9.5 inches. Okay, and here are the measurements. So for our cardboard, 5 3/4 inches by 8 3/4 inches. And then for the cover paper, 6.5 inches by 9.5 inches. Okay, so that's basically just giving us a nice little border all the way around that cardboard when we fold it over. All right, so I've cut this one down. I'm going to cut this one down. We'll glue some covers. I'll be back to show. All right, so I just used Cosmic Shimmer Specialist Acrylic Glue to glue this down, and then just turn it over. I'm just going to get the air bubbles out, and I'm just going to let this dry for just a couple of seconds. Now, this pattern is directional, okay? So when you're doing that, you need to keep that in mind when you're gluing your covers together. I've once done this upside down, so just, you know, you might want to be like that for now, so you know which side is up. All right, so first thing we're going to do is I'm just going to proceed and let these dry carefully. I would recommend that you let them dry for like 20 minutes before you proceed to this next part, but we're in a hurry. Okay, so I'm cutting these corners, but I want you to see I'm not cutting them right up next to that point. I'm leaving just the smallest amount of paper right there. Okay, and that's so when we fold them, they'll kind of miter at the corners. So I'm going to fold these over just like this. It's nice to have like your bone folder, your butter knife right here. And then we're just going to glue right under that. And I wouldn't recommend using hot glue for this because it will give you sort of a bumpy edge underneath it, no matter how careful you are. You want to keep everything as thin and as flat as possible. There we go. But you know, even if you have to like clamp these down if you're using tacky glue, because it's not going to dry as fast as like a paper glue, or you could even use a tape runner. You know, like what's your favorite adhesive? But yeah, I would avoid using hot glue. It is tempting though, because then you're just, you know, it's done and it's sticking. Oops, gotta fold first then, eh? All right, so I'm basically just gonna do the same thing on both covers. Okay. All right, so that's what we're going for, just those little corners that are kind of touching like that. All right, our binding is looking really nice and crispy right here, and that's what we want. Now these pieces right here, you can just go ahead and tack the fabric down. Like that. It doesn't play like a huge role in what we're doing next. All right, so here we're going to take this page right here, and we're going to glue it to the inside front cover, just like that. So we want to make sure we get some glue right around here, but not too close to the edge. We don't want squishing of glue happening. Okay, and then what I like to do is just turn this over, and then you want to make sure that your binding side right here is even with the cardboard binding. So and then you want to make sure that these sides right here, you're seeing a little bit of green there, and you're seeing a little bit of green there. You've got a little bit of green edge here, but on this binding side, we want it right up close to the edge of this cardboard. We don't want to see that green really. There we go. Okay, so on this page, on this side rather, I'm going to do the same thing. Now remember, we have our little arrows there We want to make sure which direction we're going. We're just going to put that one right there. And then that second side is just following along with what we've already done on the first. The second side is just way easier. Okay. So now when you open this, you just want to be careful that first time. You've got a little end page already here. And then when you go to the back on this one, the same. Okay. And then we're going to let this dry even more. And then we're going to put a binding on it. I'm going to do a little something else with her, but I just love the colors in her little coat and her little hat with that green. So we're going to do a little bit of layering with more paper on that. And yeah, we'll see what else we come up with. All right, the book is all dry, and I'm going through it now to make sure there aren't any, yeah, right, like that. Just little pieces that are glued and stuck together. And then we're going to start on the outer binding. There we go. All right, so we're going to cover this area right here. And I thought how pretty to use some of this paper on this binding. So I have cut a strip. This is 2.5 inches wide by the height of the book, which is 8 3/4 of an inch. And I've written that down for you. Right there, that's the outer binding measurements. Okay, and we're going to put some, first thing I like to do is just kind of round this a little bit. You know what I mean? We're just kind of doing this so that it has a little bit of a curve to it. And then we're just going to take some glue, put it right about here, and then we're going to do the same on the other side. A little bit more right there, missed some. And then we're just going to put that right there. And then we're just rolling the other side around. And then I like to pay attention to these two sides to make sure they're even. Okay, and we're just leaving a little bit, excuse me, a little bit of that rounded space at the top there, so the binding has room to move. You also want to make sure everything is straight. There we go. Okay. Excuse me, I've got a frog in my throat. Need a little drink of water. I know I've been talking too long when my voice starts getting raspy. All right, now this I got at the Dollar Tree. It's just the sweetest little crocheted lace. It's an ivory color. I thought how cute to put that right there. You could put it on the front and the back if you're making it extra special. Just a little bit of this. I find that this glue just works very nicely. It absorbs into that cotton. Okay, and then when this is set like this, it's a good idea just to put a little bit on the edges to keep that from fraying. And when this is dry, I'll cut that even with the end. And then I'm going to wait until that's dry, and then I'll do the other side. But in the meantime, we can talk about this little sweetheart. I think I'm going to put a little bit of brown ink on the edges there. And then how fun when we're done with the cover to add just a few little surprises on the inside, little pockets and things, because I like to think this is a nice little gift for somebody for the holidays. And you could of course do the exact same thing using a non-holiday paper collection. So this one, I think I'd like to do a little matting on that. So I'm thinking a little solid. This is the Coordinating Solid cardstock for Christmas Past. Now I love those little red berries. This is kind of a darker burgundy. See how that goes like that. Or I can turn this over. It's a little brighter red, and that picks up that nicely, and I don't think it is too offsetting from this. This is a red. I was kind of concerned. All right, so I'm going to move this out of the way for a moment. And this is how I just do my matting. I just really don't do a lot of measuring. I just set the piece down that I want to mat with, and I'm just going around it like this so that it leaves a nice little border. Ah. All right, like that. I think just a little bit more. Okay, just like that. I'm gonna put a little brown ink on this as well. Now, if you wanted to make your journal have a little bit of an inked edge on it, you could always just take a little bit of that same brown ink, especially right here on these corners. I find that that gives an aged look that's really nice. You don't have to do this, of course. Just like that. And then I'll do the same on the back. Just sort of gives that a little bit of an aged look. Okay, so we're going to put this on this. Now I could foam tape this a little bit as well and give it a little bit of a raised edge. I think I might do that. Let's see, get my big foam tape roll. Okay, and then I'm just going to put lengths or strips of foam tape like this down, and then peel the backing off, put that there, and glue that there. And then when I come back, we'll see how this all looks. You know what I just realized? Is this a hedgehog? Is this a hedgehog? I think it is. It's a really cute little hedgehog because this is the kitten. Did some of you realize that as I started at the very beginning and mentioning that this was a kitten? But I think this is a kitten. I think that's a hedgehog. Let me know what you think in the comments. It's that threw me when I was cutting out the kitten. All right, so cover is done. Lace is on the back. Let's take a little flip through. Put a pocket in the front cover, and I didn't want to add crocheted lace to add to the bulk to the inside of the cover, so I just used these little Dazzle stickers. They're wonderful little lace borders, and some of them are like really intricate like this. They just peel right off. I'll put the link for these down in the Paper Wishes section below the video. And yeah, I just filled it with all kinds of those little ephemera pieces, you guys. I inked the edges of all of them to give them that kind of aged look. Let's page through here. On this one of the cutouts, I just inked it on this long side and the bottom so that it's a nice little tuck spot. And once again, more ephemera to share. You can glue it on the pages. You can use it however you'd like. This one I glued just in a U shape on the back. You could share a little gift card with someone if this is a special gift. You could send a little hug. That's one of the cutouts. Here is the cute little kitty. Inked the edges, glued it here, here, and here. And then there's a cute little cutout from that paper pack. Okay, And then another little tuck spot here. I find that if this is a gift for somebody that's a little Christmas memories journal, that these are just little fun things. This is a little library card that I added. There's another little library card. Excellent spots for gift giving or Christmas lists. Okay, and I think we got another little tuck spot right here. And finally at the end, more little ephemera bits. These are great for just writing on. Put these on your Christmas cards, use them as bookmarks. So you guys, it's all done. Thanks for hanging in with me. This was a little bit a longer video, and now I get to tell you how we do a giveaway. So I ask that you are a subscriber to my channel, Lene Creates, that you give me a thumbs up, you like the video, and that you leave a comment. Tell me what you think about the paper. Tell me what you think about the project. Tell me what you would do with this, who you would give this to. I want to hear whatever you have to say about it. And then in about a week, we're going to have another video every Monday morning. And then you need to watch that one to find out who the winner is. We announce it within the video, just like we did this week for last week's video. And I'll give you instructions on how to claim your prize. Also, you guys, I wanted to remind you that this is going to be heavy to mail, and I pay for the shipping. And if you would consider donating by buying me a cup of coffee or doing a super thanks, there's information for that down below. I would really appreciate that because this is going to be a little heavy person to mail. And also, I have new videos over on Instagram. So Lene Creates on Instagram. I'll put the link probably in our community page. If you just want to hop over there and check that out, it'd be great if you could follow me there. I'm trying to boost my numbers on Instagram, and I'm trying to do new projects every week on Instagram, just little shorts. Thanks for joining me, you guys. Happy holidays, Merry Christmas. It's nearly upon us, so get crafting. I'll see you next time.